Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I am, of course, Zoronden, and this is going to be my G19 Logitech keyboard review. I do have a note here with several points on it, so we'll get to that as we go through this. The first thing I do want to mention is the microphone. That's how I should point to it. The microphone here, of course, if you've seen any of my previous live-action videos, this guy's new. This is the new microphone I've been recording on. You've probably noticed the sound quality difference. But this, of course, is the guy itself, so it will be there from now on, pretty much. But it's not too obtrusive, and it looks fancy, so why the heck not? Anyways, let's get to the review of the Logitech G19. It is, of course, the new keyboard I got. I'm going to bring it up here really quick so you guys can see it, as long as I don't knock anything over. So, pretty complex, as you can see, all the stuff there. I'm going to be mentioning certain points of it throughout the review, so I'll bring it up again and show you certain parts of it as I go through that. First of all, let's get to the points on the keyboard here. Of course, you notice the LCD screen up top. Over here, here we go. Get it with one hand. Over here, you have the macro buttons that you can assign for different things in games and whatnot. There is a row of preset buttons here. To this side of it, you've got the audio controls, so you can pause and play and skip tracks and stuff. It's set by default to Windows Movie Maker, or not Windows Movie Maker, Windows Media Player, which I assume you can change to different programs and whatnot. And then, of course, it does have some USB plugins at the top, which is nice. That's my mouse plugged into it right there. So, reference back to that if you want. The risk card get cut. Anyways, let's go ahead and go through that review. First off, it does have an independent power source, and that is for the LCD screen. There's nothing we can do about that. It's got to be there. It's unfortunate that it can't just run off USB, but of course, for that LCD screen, that is something you've got to sacrifice. So I'm not going to give it any points down on that. It's just an unfortunate necessity. The mechanical buttons. I personally don't like mechanical buttons anymore, but it can be hard to find non-mechanical button keyboards. However, again, that's not really a minus point. A lot of people do prefer mechanical keys, and I'm getting used to them again. So, I mean, it's not really an issue. It's just something to note. You know, if you're not looking for a mechanical keyboard, this might be a pass. But honestly, it shouldn't be. It is a good keyboard, and mechanical buttons aside, you'll get used to them, and they're fine once you're used to them. The LCD screen, it does have quite a few little apps. I've noticed it runs with Curse Client through World of Warcraft. It does run through World of Warcraft as well. However, it is a very limited amount of games. I think my only other game it works with is Assassin's Creed and Dragon Age Origins. It might work with the Mass Effects. The list I looked at seemed kind of outdated. But it is very, very limited amount of games. So if you're looking for a large amount of games to give you feedback in the little screen, you're not going to get it. However, it can play things like YouTube, movies, stuff like that. I don't see why you'd want to watch YouTube and those stuff like that on that tiny screen. Of course, quite a few people watch YouTube on their phones, but that's because they don't have a 22-inch monitor in front of them, which most of us have. Not all of us, I understand. Not all of us can have that, and a lot of you have laptops as well. The buttons have a color change feature. You can change them to almost any color on the spectrum. That's pretty cool. Not entirely necessary, but I do definitely like the feature. I've been using blue and red a lot because, you know, those are good colors. Obviously, there are those macro buttons on the side of it, and I'm not big on using macro buttons. I know I'll find a few I'll use in Warcraft eventually. But for me, the big problem is that is an extra 2-3 inches on the left side of the keyboard that's really messing me up. I'm finally getting used to it after about a week of using the keyboard. And, I mean, again, it's not a factor to not get the keyboard. It is just a note that you're going to have to get used to it. You're going to start putting your hand in the wrong position for quite a bit and hitting wrong buttons. But once you adapt to it, it's pretty quick. It doesn't take long, and you'll get used to it. Again, I mentioned the audio controls. That's pretty much the gist of them. You can pause, play, skip tracks, adjust the volume, and mute. But it's a nifty thing to have on your keyboard. You don't have to work your mouse over to the audio program. If you've closed the audio program, you don't have to reopen it. It's convenient. Plus, the LCD screen will display the track and all that viable information that you do need. And finally, there is a lights off button, so if you go to sleep and you leave your computer on, you can just hit the lights off button. It turns everything off, and it's nice and dark for you. So that's my review of the G19 Logitech. I don't know if I'm going to do a rating. Oh, why the heck? I'll do a rating. Do a 1 through 10, just a simple rating system. I'm going to give it a 9. You know, it's a dang good keyboard. I would like it to be non-mechanical, but I mean, that's a personal preference. I think the only reason I'm really going to give it a 9 is because of the limited amount of games in the LCD screen. Now, I don't know if that's Logitech's problem or if it's computer companies not doing it with their keyboard. Of course, there aren't a lot of keyboards that have LCD screens. Either way, I want to give it room to grow in case I have a keyboard in the future or something. But for now, yeah, 9 out of 10 seems like a good grade for this guy. Why the heck not? I'll rate it. Either way, guys, I would say it is a buy if you got the money. It is a pricier keyboard. Logitech sells them for $200. I think I got mine at a much reduced cost off of Amazon.com. I'm actually going to check that really quick for you. Yeah, I got it for about $120, I believe, on Amazon. They're currently up for about $140. So don't order through Logitech directly. Check out Newegg. Check out Walmart. Why not? Best Buy, but probably Amazon's going to be your best bet. They are winning all the contests and prizes these days. They're the way to go. Anyways, guys, that is my review of the Logitech G19. Again, I'm going to have an unboxing and review of the Razer Oberosis coming probably in 30 days or so. So stay tuned for that. Please do thumbs up and subscribe so I can bring in more of these unboxings and reviews as I get new products. And that's going to do it for now. Again, I'm Zoronden, and thanks for tuning in.